Protecting my family. What could be more important than that? This video is about protection. Yes, to some extent that is about life insurance, but it's a lot more than just getting a life insurance, making sure that you're protected and your family's protected in case bad things happen. So in this video, I'm going to look at life cover. I'm going to look at protection to make sure that you're protected if you're ill. And I'm also going to look at power of attorneys and whether you want one, because we're looking at, trying to protect yourself, your family, your business, and perhaps making sure that your business partners will be okay if bad things happen. These are important issues, but before we look at those, please can we do the admin? If you could like the video, that really helps me. So let's start by looking at your family, because your family is the most important thing. So I think the first question is to ask, what would have happened to your family financially if you'd died yesterday? Now, a lot of people have life cover that they buy when they get their mortgage. And that means that their mortgage is paid for. But the problem is you can't eat your house. So if you're going to have something to live on, or they're going to have something to live on, as well as the house, then you need to be able to be protected by more than just something that pays off the mortgage. Now, life insurance is actually quite cheap. And I was surprised when I got mine, just how cheap it is, because I'm reasonably old, so those mortality tables are beginning to kick in, and the insurers will tell me there's a reasonable chance that I might die. And for me, £100,000 of cover cost £10 a month. So if I wanted £500,000 of cover, that cost 50 quid a month, about. So that's an awful lot of cover for not very much cost. And I think the barrier to people getting it is not the cost, it's just the getting round to it thing. So how much cover should you get? Well, I think you need to look at your circumstances. You need to look at who you're protecting, how old they are, how long they need that protection for, what returns you're expecting on the investments, the lifestyle that you're expecting your dependents to live, and the lifestyle that you've got them used to, and also the earning capacity of your partner. So if you add all of these things together, then you can come up to a number which I think is likely to be a very big number. But I also think that if you haven't got your mortgage paid for and £500,000 as well, then you're not really and you've got small children, dependents, then you're not really taking their protection seriously. And I think you need to get on with something. So after life cover, then I'm thinking about income protection or critical illness. Now, that is something that actually you might benefit from, because at the end of the day, with life cover, you're not going to benefit because you won't be around. But with income protection, then you are around to benefit from it. Now, there's a sort of good news, bad news thing. So the bad news is it's quite expensive, because the good news is that you're actually if you have a bad illness, you're actually quite likely to survive. So it's much more likely to happen that you have some sort of illness that will stop you working or stop you working fully, but you will survive. And if you do survive, the question is, if you had caught something yesterday, would your finances be okay, and would they be able to withstand anything that the world might put against you? If not, or if you haven't looked at it, then maybe now is the time to do that. So we've looked about protecting you, and we've looked at protecting your family. So what about your business? So your business might need protecting in a number of different ways. So firstly, for small businesses particularly, then they're normally, and mine certainly is, they're normally very dependent on the owner of the business in order for them to continue and certainly to thrive. So you might want to be able to protect that. And by protecting it, you're protecting the business, protecting the employees, which I would hope you care about, the business itself, and therefore the customers and all the relationships that you've built up, but also the asset that is part of your family's assets. You want to be able to protect that. And there might be ways in which you can do that with financial policies. Something happened to your business partner, and then the shares in the business went to their spouse, and then their spouse remarried, and then their spouse got divorced. You could end up with shares with people you've never met, and you really don't want that. So what you really want is, for if you've got a business partnership, particularly if you're not related, you want the shares to go to the other partner, and there to be a policy to pay out the other family. So they get the money, you get the shares, everybody's happy, and you can continue. Now with businesses, of course, it is much more bespoke, because business is just more complicated and no two businesses are the same. And I think at that stage, you really do need advice. I think you need advice for pretty much any of it. But once you get into a business, I think you get into something much more complicated. And it is something that if you want to talk to me about, then I'll be very, very happy to listen and to point you in the direction or point you to a specialist. The other way in which I protect myself is with the power of attorney, which means that I've appointed people that if I can't make decisions, they can make decisions on my behalf. And that gives security to the business in particular, but my affairs more generally, because my affairs seems to have got a bit quite complicated recently. So therefore I do need somebody, if I'm not around to make decisions, somebody else can. And it's another way of protecting your business. And of course it comes into to writing wills, which you probably want to do. And why not do it all at the same time and get it all done? Then you don't have to think about your own mortality anymore. So that is the main part of protection: your life cover and income protection, and protecting your business, and that's what really needs addressing. Now the thing is, with this sort of thing, you are looking at your own mortality, and nobody likes doing it. And also, we sort of always know it's important but not urgent. It's not urgent because we know with certainty that we're going to live another month. We know that because we sort of can't live our life in any other way. We have to make that as a working assumption. And also, for all of my life, all these however many 50 odd years of my life, that has been the truth, that I have lived another month. So therefore, that must happen forever. Surely I must continue. But we also know that that's not the case. And over a long period of time, then it becomes important. But the trouble is, unless you address it now, then it won't happen. You'll see this, you'll want to do it, and then the moment will pass and life will move on. But I hope you agree that protecting those that you love, protecting yourself and protecting your business are all really important things. And I really do recommend that if you haven't looked at them for a few years, or if you know you're just not covered, then you do address it now. So that's all I have to say on protection. Thank you for listening. Thank you for getting this far. Please press the like button because that really helps me with that algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. You'll be very welcome as a member of the channel. Thank you.